back out on the road again. It's a beautiful day. I was probably here about 3 years ago, and it looks like they've been doing some work in terms of logging, which is why a lot of these tracks are here actually. But I'm just kind of heading up to a location that's a little bit higher up. Just going to check that out, see what it's like, and just hopefully spend a couple of days out here just winding down. Is that Bigfoot? You motherfucker. That's oh, mate. I swear I just saw him over there, but it's just another decoy. He does that from time to time. He sort of finds a root or a tree trunk or something, leans it up. I mean, since he got access to my Gaia GPS account, I can't seem to get rid of him. Getting a little bit bumpy, so I'm going to disconnect the sway bar, just kind of give the vehicle a bit of a break. It's kind of unnecessary given these tracks, but it just makes the suspension do all the work. There is something strangely nice about these open areas that they've logged though. I know it's kind of horrible just in some people's eyes, but it's nice to have a bit of a view and see something in the distance. A lot of the time when I'm driving around here, you're really just kind of like closed off in kind of coniferous woodlands, so this should be a little bit of a change anyway. Oh my god, a river crossing. This one looks technical. Quick, multiple cameras. Drone activate. Under vehicle camera. Cue music. I've only just made it. Fuck you, van life. Well, I found a little trail. Goes up into the hills and far away. A few down trees. That's a problem. Not sure where it goes really. It's not on the map, so just gonna go up here, check it out, see if it's got a good view. Sometimes it's nice to be tucked away. Wow, look at that view. This looks like a really nice spot, and we've got a little bit of sunlight, but that's going to be gone pretty soon, so just really kind of the location I picked is behind the hills a bit, but yeah, I like it. I think that'll do. I really don't have much time to waste on this one. Luckily I don't have anything to set up because I'm sleeping in the truck these days. That was like the quick deployment seat. You know, it's meant to just come out like that. They're pretty expensive, but you know, most of this overlanding gear is. So you know, if you want one of these, check out my sponsored link below. That was a joke. I actually got given that as a present by a friend of mine called Harold. Really cool seat, very light. But anyway, I mean, it's going to be dark pretty soon. You can hear the wind howling, but wow, what a spot. It's definitely going to cool off as well, but we all know what time it is. Time for a cup of tea. It's the whole reason we're out here. I don't know about you, but I didn't spend all this time and money building this to basically not have a cup of tea. Get a bit of vitamin D in. One thing I almost totally forgot, which could be a complete waste of time. Try and get a little bit of solar in before the sun vanishes. It's at completely the wrong angle, but you know. Since I grooved these tyres, they've actually performed really well on the ice and the sort of more granulated snow. In fact, when you're driving along, you can actually see them holding the snow and the ice in that sort of like siping, although it's way too big to be siping, but I'm pretty happy with them. But unfortunately now they're illegal to run in Europe for winter because they don't have the 3-peak mountain snowflake symbol on them. So all of that work, studding and grooving and all that shit, complete waste of time. This looks like a good tyre, and it is, and it actually is performing a lot better. I'm really happy with how it's running, but they need to be changed, so bit of a shame really. I'm really enjoying sleeping in the truck. There's literally nothing to do in terms of setup. I already had the bed platform assembled, and as I showed you in the last video, it's all part of the seat and the backstop, so it just all clicks out and you're done. And I just put this piece of foam down, a slightly thinner mattress this time, which is a lot better, and just a sleeping bag and a pillow, and that's basically it. I normally take the sleeping bag and the pillow in the house though, because of hygiene and hanging it up and airing it out. I don't just leave it stinking in the truck because yeah, I'm not really into that. But that's it, done. That's filled with resin, and what I'm kind of looking for at the moment is what I call forever logs, basically roots and other such things that are just packed with resin that I can kind of add to the wood I've brought with me, and they'll burn for ages. This is called a pine shoulder. You can knock these or cut them off of a down tree like this one, and even though the outer is saturated, the inside is really dry because it's kind of like it's been stabilized with resin. You don't have to smell it every time, but old habits die hard, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Good stuff, man. Good stuff. Time to get a fire on. Prepare some materials. I think with solo camping it's really important to use good techniques with an axe. You see a lot of people doing that terrible technique, you know, you put the log there, the axe on top, and you're trying to start it off. It's not a good technique. Like, to make kindling, you can just do that, and everything is away from your hand. Let's check this thing out here. There we go. Wow, that's some good stuff. This is one of the advantages of this these pine shoulders. I mean, it's in bushcraft they call it fat wood, or terpy wood. Basically it's just, like I said, filled with resin. So if you get a good piece like this, it will have no moisture in it because it's just resin that's hardened, and you can just scrape all this kind of stuff out, make a tinder bundle. And to accompany it, if you don't have any birch bark, you make feathers like this just to increase the surface area of the wood. And you can do this in any weather. This is the thing about it. It's really, you know, if you can't find birch and easy tinders, you generally can always find fat wood in coniferous woodland. Scrape some little bits in there. But the worst weather you can do this in is this weather, where it's windy. Because then the wind just makes everything that little bit harder for you. And get the little feathers in, and take the little sticks. Normally you could collect a big tinder bundle and just chuck it straight on top. That's actually a better way of doing it, really, but couldn't be bothered to go out and collect the tinder bundle, to be quite honest with you. You're probably saying to yourself, what the fuck was the point in all that? You just lit a gas bottle with a lighter. You could have just lit this birch with the lighter and you'd have been fine. I did it for you, actually. I did it for you. No, I just, you know, I like to practice, you know, the skills that I've been practicing for over the years, you know, like going out, finding some fat wood, scraping it, making a fire. Anyway, as I was saying, you know, it's good to practice the old skills, even though these tools aren't sort of primitive tools. You know, that's not what I'm saying. That they're more sustainable than a lighter and gas and things that run out quickly. You know, I've had this for probably near 7 years now, this ferro rod. So, you know, it's still going strong as well. And the knife too, you know, these are tools I always carry on me when I hike and when I go fishing or when I used to hunt and stuff. So you know, to be able to use them with the resources around you, you know, it just keeps your hand in the game. Well, it's dinner time. Well, not dinner time, but it's an early dinner time for me. I know it probably seems like I'm doing absolutely F-all around the camp, but I kind of am. I've been driving all day and I'm probably going to go sort of hiking up there tomorrow morning, but judging by the drone, I've got a feeling this is just kind of like logging land. Now, I've been to a number of different places and it is kind of a little bit of a sterile environment. In fact, this whole vast expanse is owned by one of the logging companies in Sweden. You can kind of see it when you look through the eyes of the drone. It's difficult on the ground sometimes, but you can see big patches of coppice, effectively, where they're coming back and taking timber and replanting. So these areas tend to feel a little bit dead to me. I much prefer going to the kind of national parks and the nature reserves where you have the old spruce and other such things, and you can kind of see it in the trees straight away, old man's beard and other such hanging around. They're much nicer places to be. But you know, sometimes you come out camping and you just want to chill out, and that's kind of what I'm going to do. So you know, what's your excuse? I'm going to make dinner. It's going to get to a point where well, yeah, look, 4 degrees out, so it's actually warmer in the fridge. So that's interesting, isn't it? I might as well just open it and turn it off. There we go. Can't have a lot of rice, but yeah, it's an early dinner, so it's not too bad really. So I have a couple of bits of meat here, got a bit of shoulder and a bit of entrecôte, as they call it. Get some salt on there. I'm looking forward to doing some ice fishing, getting some perch though. So it was really cool to like do some perch over the fire and stuff. Had some good times with that last winter. Obviously Bigfoot's joining me, which is why I'm cooking all of this. Now I've got to cook that piece of meat. That second piece of steak needs to be done now, and I'll probably have it tomorrow morning. I can't imagine I'll have it now. This is quite a lot of food for me, but generally I won't eat again now till tomorrow, so it's about 3 o'clock now. So I'll have quite a large meal now, and maybe sort of 18-20 hours not eating, and then I'll eat again tomorrow at some point when I'm hungry again. So it's just generally the way I do things. So like I don't really have a lot of carbohydrates and sugars, usually just like meat, some greens, some a little bit of rice. You know, I do like rice, to be fair, so when I'm out camping I generally will have rice. So you know, it's just what works for me really. But if you were wondering why I'm cooking all of this, basically, this is me, dinner. It's looking pretty good. The rice isn't looking that great, but you know, it's all good. Well, night time has set in and the wind has really picked up. The forever wood has been on the fire, burning away brightly for the last few hours, and it's almost time to say goodbye to it. But I'm going to be by the fire until it burns down. There's some ominous clouds coming over, and unfortunately I don't think I'm going to be getting a great time lapse, but I'll give it a go, see if I get the northern lights, and then I'm going to retire into the vehicle. I was about to say tent, and I've got some reading to do, but I also have another scary film that I might watch. You know, that's kind of a thing I like to do when I'm out here, watch a scary film before bed, just because it feels like the right place to do it, not in your living room at home. My wife thinks I'm crazy. Anyway, I'll see you in the morning. Good night. Well, it's the morning. It was a pretty sound night. I did get woken up by an animal outside. I don't know what it was actually, but there's a lot of capercaillie here. I can hear them like calling outside of the vehicle right now, which is pretty cool. But I'm assuming as soon as I get out, they're all going to scatter. But it was pretty warm. A really windy night, and it was cold this morning in the sleeping bag. I actually brought a different sleeping bag with me. It's a Thermarest bag that can kind of take you to about -7 degrees C. So I'm going to probably start going over to that, and it'll be the last time I sleep in this this bag here, because it was a bit cold. I had to put my jacket down there on my feet to sort of provide a little bit more insulation, which worked quite well. But it's quite nice in here. You know, it's pretty organised, and that little organiser there that I got from Grab My Gear ages ago, I've actually started using it again because it's kind of works with the sleeping inside setup. But anyway, it's my second time sleeping in the vehicle. I know a lot of you have said, oh, I've been sleeping in the vehicle for like 20 years. Well, for me, this is just my second time. I'm new to this, and I'm enjoying it. There's not much headroom with my setup. Obviously, if I didn't have a drawer system, I would have a lot more headroom, but it doesn't really bother me because I'm just in here sleeping and lying down when I'm in here, and that's okay. I quite like to be outside most of the time, really, if I can be. But anyway, I'm going to get out. I'm going to get out of here. Oh, it's windy up here. Winds are coming this way, and it is just extremely cold to be at the back of the vehicle and just having them cross-cutting from, you know, from the side. So I've just done this really. So that's about as high as the sun's going to get today, and like I say, as the winter progresses, it's going to get a bit worse. We're in November now. Come December, you know, probably a good sort of 3 or 4 hours of daylight. So it's important to, I find, to take vitamin D. Since I've lived out here, I take quite a bit of vitamin D actually every day, and when I get out, I try and get out as much as I can really. When I wake up in the morning, go out, you know, like have a cup of tea in the garden, a bit of sun on your face and stuff if it's there. It really does make a difference. It's easy to stay inside and do nothing really. But I'm thinking about getting out, going for a hike. But in all honesty, this place, now I'm looking at it from a bird's eye view of the drone, it looks like old spruce up there. you know, just on the edge going down. And I think over there in the distance, it's definitely old spruce, it's old forest over there too. I don't know whether they'll log that, but like I say, this whole place is owned. It's a big expanse owned by the logging companies, so it really is about kind of taking wood, replanting. So like when you go for walks, is what I'm trying to say, through these places, it can be extremely sterile and feel really dead. The woodlands and the forests, they feel lifeless. You know, when you go to old forest and you're walking through it, and you've got the lichens and the mosses and all the boulders and the stones, these things take an extremely long time to form sometimes. Yeah, like these places here, it can be a bit of a shame really when you come to them, but it is still very beautiful, and it is good that they put the trees back, but I guess they're not putting them back for them to stay there. They're going to be taken away again, you know, in however many years time. But anyway, what the f do I know, right? I'm out here like cooking on gas and just chatting shit in some sort of lifted diesel vehicle, like spewing out crap everywhere. So in all fairness, like, I can basically just shut up, can't I? This is a really beautiful area down here. Like, none of this has been logged. This is all like obviously old forest, like natural forest. Look at this birch peeling back. See, that's pretty valuable for the wildlife, you know, to live in there. And you've got Fomes fomentarius, you know, the bracket fungi, probably responsible for white heart rotting some of these bad boys down here. Look, you can see it everywhere actually now. Yeah, growing all over the place. So these places are definitely worth exploring and walking around. You know, this is why I really don't enjoy staying by the vehicle, because you just don't really feel like you've been in an area until you get out on foot and just have a good walk about. Well, I'm pretty far away from the Jeep now. I'm all the way down in the ravine between the two peaks, you know, the thing that Bigfoot's into. Hopefully, like, this is part of the video really where most people would tune out, because I'm just talking now, and you know, this will probably be the last part of the video. I'm gonna hike back up and probably make a move, because it will be dark in about an hour and a half. Thanks for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and yeah, I just want to say a big thanks to my patrons for the support they give me, and really to everyone really, and supporting in whichever way they can. You know, obviously, as I say, nothing's ever expected, but always appreciated. And I'll see you guys again real soon in another video. Take care.